She should have never dated him. He old enough to be her daddy. All I see are comments about her being 23 years old and too young to date someone 46 years old. She probably chose him so she wouldn't have to deal with this type of abusive behavior, but then realized he was nothing but a man-child. A grown boy with toxic masculinity who had no power and control in his life, so he wanted to overpower and control her with abuse. She ended the relationship, but he wouldn't let her go. How about he should have moved on with his life when she moved on with hers? How about he should have never put his hands on her? How about he should have never stalked her? How about the system should have got it right this time and put him behind bars for all the other times he abused her? Jaynice Ferguson was a beautiful, goal-oriented, God-fearing woman who managed to keep a smile on her face while she was suffering from violence. Her family explained how she tried to do everything right according to the system, reported the abuse, got a no contact order, and he still kept coming after her. Stories like this is the reason why I say, women, we have to be our own first responders.
A woman used her dying breath to tell police her ex-boyfriend shot her moments before she died. And tonight, the family of Jaynice Ferguson is sharing their story only with us here at ABC 13. And ABC 13's Luke Jones is live outside the Harris County Jail where the suspect is being held on a $1 million bond. Luke?
And it's a bond the victim's family hopes he isn't able to post because they say he still poses a danger to other women. They're also questioning why he wasn't stopped sooner after numerous police calls and even a protection order.
I had ever since she was 3 days old.
More than anything else, this father wants his daughter, Jaynice Ferguson, back.
I can't see her no more. I can't put my arms around her no more.
But since he can't have that, he and his remaining daughters at least want answers. Answers about why, after 3 years of alleged harassment, assault, and a protection order, police say Algie Washington was still able to track down and kill Ferguson last week at her Southwest Houston apartment.
They would have taken it seriously all the times that he either put her in the hospital, she filed charges, he had a restraining order, and nothing kept him away.
Ferguson started dating Washington in 2020. She broke things off that same year, but her family tells us he refused to take no for an answer.
He would have a brick with a rubber band with a letter on it, and he would break her windows out.
After a 2021 assault, Ferguson was granted a protection order, but the harassment continued, and in 2022, Washington was arrested for trying to strangle Ferguson. Police confirmed they took 2 calls about her tires being slashed, one as late as New Year's Day, and her family says there were even more.
And we did everything in our power, so it almost seems like, as the civilians, if we would have taken this in our own hands, perhaps my sister would have still been here.
If they let him out of jail, I know he's going to go do it again. This is his passion. He has passion doing that.
Keeping their sister's accused killer in jail won't bring her back, but they say it could very well spare others.
Because you took something from me.
This same heartache.
This is what I want.
Justice for Jaynice.
Luke Jones, ABC 13, Eyewitness News.
A woman helped police find her killer moments before her death.
That's right. Jaynice Ferguson was killed at a Southwest Houston apartment complex exactly 1 week ago. Well, today, police arrested her ex-boyfriend. Fox 26's Abigail Dye joining us now live. So, Abigail, there were multiple assaults leading up to that killing.
This is sadly a story we tell all too often. Domestic abuse leading to death. And court records show that this suspect has been convicted of assault, with Ferguson listed as the victim multiple times before this alleged murder. 23-year-old Jaynice Ferguson murdered by her ex, according to police. Ferguson's family says she was caring, goal-oriented, and God-fearing, and taken too soon.
On January 17th, police responded to a shooting call at her apartment complex and found Ferguson with a gunshot wound to her leg. Court records say she was able to tell an officer in the back of the ambulance that her ex-boyfriend shot her before she bled out.
Mr. Washington, you are charged with the first-degree felony offense of murder.
Police identified the killer ex as Algie Washington and arrested him Wednesday.
I will set the bond in this case at $1 million.
It was a continuous pattern of violence predicated on this woman who now paid the ultimate price.
Andy Kahn with Crime Stoppers explains how Washington has a violent history, including 4 assault convictions with Ferguson as the victim.
In this case, the officer referenced another police report where she was hospitalized after the defendant beat her with a wooden board.
Though Washington's convictions span back to 2010, Kahn says he only spent a year in jail.
I can't imagine how terrified she must have been the last time that this guy was released from jail, which was in 2023. I think it's a calling card for people of this county. Start recognizing that we do have a serious problem.
Domestic violence is a huge problem, and sadly, it all too often leads to tragedies like these. If you or anyone you know is experiencing domestic violence, you can call the domestic violence hotline at 800-799-7233. Help is available, and it could save a life. Reporting live in Houston, Abigail Dye, Fox 26 News.
To all of Jaynice's family and friends, I am so sorry for your loss. If what Jaynice went through, all of her hurt and pain, can stop someone from going through the same thing, then she didn't die in vain.